The gavel struck, echoing like thunder in Sophia's chest. Her breath hitched as the judge's words blurred into a haze of disbelief. Custody granted to the father. Time slowed. Ethan's satisfied smirk cut through her heartbreak like a blade. She wanted to scream, to tell them all he lied, but her voice was gone, drowned in the silence of the courtroom. Daniel's small hand reached for her, trembling, confused, until Ethan pulled him away. The scent of antiseptic wood and cold marble filled her lungs as the door closed between mother and son. In that moment, something inside Sophia broke. But somewhere beneath the pain, a spark flickered. She didn't know it yet, but this was not her ending. It was the start of her fight to rise again. That night, the silence of Sophia's apartment was unbearable. Daniel's laughter once filled every corner. Now, the air felt hollow. She sat on the couch, clutching his blanket, inhaling its faint scent, her reflection blurred in the dark window. Ethan's words echoed in her mind. "He's better off with me." Rage fought through the heartbreak. She wasn't unfit. She was framed. The city lights outside shimmered like distant stars, unreachable. But somewhere deep inside, a fire began to burn. Small, fragile, but alive. Morning crept in through pale curtains. Sophia sat at the kitchen table, untouched coffee cooling beside her. The city outside was alive, but her world had stopped. She replayed every moment in court. Every lie Ethan spun so effortlessly. The ache in her chest deepened into resolve. She reached for her phone, fingers trembling as she dialed Maya's number. "We're not done," she whispered. "He can't win through lies." Later that day, Maya arrived, eyes sharp, spirit fierce. "We'll appeal," she said firmly, dropping new folders onto Sophia's table. Sophia stared at them, hesitant, afraid to hope again. But Maya's confidence was contagious. "He lied, Sophia, and we'll prove it." The warmth in Maya's voice cracked something inside her, a reminder that not all was lost. Hope returned, fragile but real. That night, Sophia wrote her son's name again and again in her journal, Daniel. Each letter was a vow. She promised to bring him home, no matter how long it took. Outside, the city lights blinked like witnesses to her rebirth. She looked out the window, her reflection steadier now. "They can take him," she murmured, "but they can't take the truth." Days turned into weeks, and Sophia's apartment grew quieter with every sunrise. The sound of Daniel's laughter haunted her, echoes trapped in the walls. She stopped checking her phone. No one called. Every knock on the door made her heart race, hoping it was him, fearing it was nothing. The world outside moved on, but she remained suspended between heartbreak and disbelief. She had believed in the system, believed that truth mattered, but truth had been silenced by money and lies. Yet, deep in her chest, that tiny spark from the courtroom refused to die. Ethan's voice reached her only through news, headlines, and whispers. A charity photo of him holding Daniel, smiling like the perfect father, splashed across her phone screen one morning. Sophia stared at it, numb. He had turned their son into a trophy. She scrolled past comments calling him devoted and inspirational, feeling each word twist like a knife. But as she looked closer, she saw Daniel's forced smile, his distant eyes. That was not joy. That was confusion. And in that moment, Sophia's tears stopped. Maya called again, urging her to keep moving, to eat, to sleep. "He wants you broken," Maya said softly, "because broken people don't fight back." Those words lodged deep in Sophia's heart. That night, she looked at herself in the mirror, at the tired eyes, the cracked lips, the reflection of a woman she barely recognized. Then she whispered to her reflection, "You're not broken. Not yet." The sound of her own voice startled her. Strong, defiant, alive. Outside, the world looked the same, but Sophia was seeing it differently now. She started walking each morning, just walking, breathing, thinking. The cold air stung her face, and every exhale felt like she was releasing a little of the past. She watched families in the park, mothers chasing laughing children, and instead of breaking her, it fueled. She wasn't jealous anymore. She was preparing. One day, she'd hold Daniel again, and when she did, it would be on her terms. That evening, she sat by her window, pen in hand, writing a letter she would never send. Dear Daniel, I hope you still remember my voice. Her words flowed with tears, but also strength. She wasn't writing to mourn. She was writing to remind herself why she'd keep going. Somewhere out there, her son was waiting, even if he didn't know it yet. Sophia closed the notebook, pressed it to her heart, and looked out at the flickering city lights. For the first time in months, she whispered, I'm not done. Sophia's mornings were no longer about surviving. They were about preparing. She woke early, poured black coffee, and opened the stack of court files Maya had sent her. Every lie Ethan had told was there, carefully printed, neatly framed in deceit. But this time, Sophia read them differently. Every false claim became a challenge. Every word he twisted became a weapon she'd turn against him. She wasn't scared of his power anymore. She was learning how to dismantle it. The woman who once wept was gone. In her place stood someone sharper, steadier, unbreakable. Maya arrived that afternoon, her usual calm replaced by urgency. I found something, she said, placing the file on the table. It was a bank statement, Ethan's name, and an unexplained payment to a private investigator weeks before the custody hearing. He paid someone, Maya said softly, to dig up dirt on you that never existed. Sophia's chest tightened. Proof. Real proof. Her hands trembled not from fear, but from the thrill of justice finally taking shape. For the first time in months, Sophia stepped outside not as a victim, but as a woman with purpose. The city's noise didn't drown her anymore. It fueled her. She walked into a records office, heart pounding, clutching the evidence Maya had given her. The clerk's disinterested tone didn't faze her. Every signed paper, every official stamp, it all mattered now. She wasn't just fighting for herself. She was fighting for Daniel's truth. And that kind of strength couldn't be faked. Later that evening, Maya spread the new documents across the table. The evidence was undeniable. Ethan had orchestrated everything. Sophia stared at the pages, her pulse steady. He built his lies like a fortress, she murmured. Maya nodded. Then we tear it down, brick by brick. Outside, thunder rumbled faintly, echoing the storm inside Sophia's chest. This time, she wasn't afraid of the storm. She was becoming it. That night, Sophia opened Daniel's old toy chest. Inside, beneath his drawings and tiny shoes, she found the lullaby book they used to read together. She traced her fingers across its worn cover, whispering the words to herself. It wasn't sadness this time. It was promise. She imagined Daniel hearing her voice again, knowing she never stopped fighting. She placed the book beside her bed, like a talisman. Tomorrow, she'd file the first motion. Tomorrow, the truth would finally begin to rise. Sophia stood outside Ethan's office building, her heart pounding in rhythm with the city's noise. She had promised herself she wouldn't tremble. Not today. Clutching the folder in her hands, she stepped through the glass doors, each reflection reminding her of the woman she used to be and the one she had become. When Ethan looked up from behind his desk, the shock on his face was fleeting, replaced by his usual cold smile. You should be here, he said. Sophia met his eyes, steady. You're right, she replied. But I am. You lied about everything, Sophia said, voice calm but sharp. Ethan leaned forward, pretending confusion, but the flicker in his eyes betrayed him. You paid someone to invent stories about me. I have the proof. Silence fell heavy between them. For a moment, Ethan's mask cracked, his arrogance faltering. Then he smiled, slow and poisonous. Even if it's true, who will believe you? Sophia leaned closer, voice low and certain. The truth believes me. When Sophia left the building, her legs trembled. But this time from adrenaline, not fear. Maya waited across the street, watching her emerge like a soldier from battle. Did he bite? She asked. Sophia nodded slightly. He's scared. They exchanged a knowing look. It was the first time Sophia had seen Ethan's power crack. The city lights flickered on as dusk settled, wrapping the moment in an air of quiet triumph. The war had begun, and for the first time, Sophia wasn't running. She was advancing. Back at her apartment, Sophia and Maya worked through the night. They gathered witness statements, organized evidence, and drafted the new motion. The room buzzed with energy, fueled by coffee and purpose. Once this is filed, Maya said. Hell no, you're not afraid anymore. Sophia looked at her reflection in the window. The woman staring back was strong, sharp, and alive. Good, she whispered. Let him see what truth looks like. Morning came with the sound of rain tapping against the window. Sophia stood at the mirror, adjusting her blazer, a calm determination in her eyes. Today she wasn't walking into court as the woman they pitied. She was walking in as the woman they underestimated. As she grabbed the file from the table, her phone buzzed. A message from Maya. It's time. Sophia smiled faintly. Yes, she whispered. It's time they heard my truth. The courtroom felt different this time. No longer a place of loss, it was a battleground of truth. Sophia stood beside Maya, her pulse steady, as she watched Ethan walk in, confident, composed, but not untouchable. The judge entered, papers rustling, the air tense with anticipation. We're here to review new evidence, the clerk announced. Sophia's gaze didn't waver. She wasn't that broken woman anymore. This was her chance, not for revenge, but for redemption. Maya's voice cut through the courtroom with precision. Your Honor, we present new evidence, a financial transaction between Mr. E. Cross and a private investigator hired to fabricate claims against my client. The room fell into stunned silence. Ethan's attorney shuffled papers, his composure cracking. Sophia didn't blink. She simply breathed. For the first time, Ethan looked unsure, his facade trembling beneath the weight of his own lies. Truth, like light, had begun to flood the room. Ethan's voice cracked as he tried to explain, his confidence draining. It was a misunderstanding, he insisted, but the tremor in his words betrayed him. Sophia watched quietly, not with hate, but with strength. Every lie he spoke was another nail sealing his downfall. Maya handed over more files, each one tighter than the last. The judge's expression darkened with realization. The truth was no longer a whisper. It was roaring through the courtroom like a storm. When Maya finished, the room was silent. The judge leaned back, removing his glasses slowly. Mr. Cross, he said, voice measured but cold. These documents suggest intentional deceit. This court will not tolerate manipulation. Ethan's lawyer shifted uneasily. Ethan's jaw tightened. Sophia's eyes filled, not with tears of pain, but with the relief of finally being seen. For so long, she had screamed in silence. Now, the truth spoke for her. Outside the courthouse, Sophia finally exhaled. The world smelled different, lighter, cleaner. Maya walked beside her, smiling. It's not over, she said, but it's working. Sophia nodded, her eyes lifting toward the sunlight. For the first time since losing Daniel, she felt hope like sunlight on her skin. She had faced lies, humiliation, and fear, and she was still standing. The next battle would be for custody, but this time, truth would be on her side. The courthouse was silent except for the faint hum of whispers. Sophia stood just outside the courtroom door, breathing slowly, her heart steady but heavy. Today was the day, the custody hearing that would decide everything. Maya placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "You're ready." Sophia nodded, clutching Daniel's small drawing in her hand, its crayon lines smudged but full of love. As the doors opened, she stepped forward. Not the same woman who once begged for mercy, but one who demanded truth. As the hearing began, Ethan's lawyer spoke first, smooth, confident, rehearsed. He painted Sophia as emotional, unstable, unreliable. Each word hit like a quiet dagger, but Sophia didn't flinch. She had been broken before. Not anymore. When it was Maya's turn, her voice was firm and clear. "Your Honor, every accusation against my client was built on lies. Lies Mr. Cross paid for." The courtroom shifted. Even Ethan's composure cracked, his fingers tapping nervously against the table. When it was Sophia's turn to speak, the courtroom seemed to hold its breath. She stood slowly, voice trembling only for a moment before finding strength. "I'm not here to take revenge," she began softly. "I'm here because my son deserves to know the truth." Her words filled the room like a quiet storm, honest, raw, unshaken. "I may have lost everything once, but I never stopped being his mother." Even the judge's expression softened, the gravity of her pain resonating in the silence that followed. Ethan tried one last time to twist the story, his words stumbling over themselves. "She's unstable. She's dramatic." But the weight of his lies had already crushed his credibility. Maya rose, presenting his recorded admission, his voice confessing to paying for false evidence. The sound echoed like thunder. Ethan froze, the mask finally gone. Sophia watched quietly, not triumphant, only free. The truth had done the fighting for her. When the hearing ended, Sophia didn't cry. She simply breathed, long and deep as the gavel struck. The judge's words echoed softly. "This court rules in favor of the mother." The sound was both quiet and thunderous, like a heart finally exhaling after years underwater. Maya's hand found hers, squeezing it tightly. For the first time, Sophia smiled, not from victory, but from peace. She'd walked through fire, and she was still standing. The day Sophia had waited for finally came. The day she would see Daniel again. The air outside the family center smelled of spring rain and new beginnings. Her hands trembled as she clutched the small toy car he once loved. Every second felt endless until the door opened, and there he was, older, taller, but still her boy. Daniel blinked, unsure, then whispered, "Mom?" Sophia's tears broke into a smile, arms opened wide. "I'm here, baby. I never stopped being here." Daniel ran into her arms with the kind of force only a child's love carries. Raw, pure, absolute. Sophia buried her face in his hair, inhaling the scent she had missed every night. "Did you think I forgot you?" she whispered. Daniel shook his head. "I knew you'd come." The words melted years of pain into a single heartbeat. In that moment, the world disappeared. It was only them, mother and son, whole again. Later, at home, the sound of laughter returned. Small and familiar. Daniel sat on the living room floor, drawing, while Sophia made his favorite pancakes. The apartment that once felt empty now breathed again. The smell of syrup and sunshine filled the air. She watched him hum softly, crayons scattered around, and realized that healing didn't come from winning a case. It came from moments like this. Love was the victory she'd fought for all along. That evening, they sat together by the window as the city lights came alive. Daniel leaned against her arm, sleepy but smiling. "You're safe now," Sophia whispered. Brushing his hair back, she glanced at the stars, not searching for something lost, but grateful for what she had found again. For the first time in a long while, The world felt kind. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but tonight was theirs. A quiet proof that love always finds its way home. As Daniel slept that night, Sophia stood by his door, watching the slow rise and fall of his chest. Every scar, every tear, every sleepless night, it had all led to this quiet miracle. She smiled through tears, whispering, "We made it." She turned off the light, closing the door halfway, leaving the hallway glowing with soft gold. For the first time in years, her heart was light. She had lost everything once, and yet she had come back stronger than ever.